What's up, secret agents? I'm so happy to be here hosting tonight's Team Zimmer call. I'm so pumped, man. It's your boy Josh Wyles coming to you from my home here in North Carolina. And tonight we have a special treat for you guys, man. I am so pumped about the information that's going to be delivered tonight. I'm excited. I know excitement's at an all-time high across the board, man. And what a wonderful way, man. What an amazing time to be having this incredible promotion. That's right. You see the banners in the background here. Ignite. We're on fire. Operation 92 Ignite. And there's not a better time to do it than this summer, man, because over the summer, man, it's the best months to build your business because everybody's out and about. Everybody's trying to go hang out with their buddies. Everybody's trying to just spend more time with family, take more time off of work, vacationing, meeting new people. So they're cold marketing like crazy, filling their funnel, building their list. And what a there's no better way than to move into this next event than with the what. And the what on everybody's mind right now is Operation 92 Ignite Mission Rank Advance. The what is to rank advance. Once you get a double bonus if you maintain that rank for 4 additional weeks. Number 2 is a triple rank advancement bonus if you rank advance twice by holding it for an additional 4 weeks, not consecutive, just an additional. But then this company, man, this community did not only give us the what, they gave us the how. The how is mission sponsor. Go sponsor 5 new people. There is nothing in the world that 5 new people won't fix. There's nothing, no challenge, no problem, no obstacle, no mountain, no stumbling block in your business that 5 new agents will not fix. And that's it. Look, sponsor 5 new agents and you get this sexy executive watch right here. Plus you get recognition at the event and a certificate. Now, there's 3 types of people. There are 3 types of people right now in secret. There's the new agents who have yet to get their 5. There are the agents that have gotten their 5 and that are on the way to 20. And there's agents who have, a couple agents who have gotten their 20 and they're ready to rock and roll above and beyond 20 into the Ignite conference. And those guys, you see it, everybody's looking for this Apple Watch. Not only that, not only do you get the Apple Watch, man, but you get advanced VIP access, whether you're a platinum or not, to the platinum and above banquet at the biggest party of the year. Every single conference, man, I'm telling you, it is off the chain. You heard it. You heard it first here. It's, oh my goodness, it's just going to be absolutely insane. But tonight, before we get into the meat and potatoes of tonight's training and the rest of the team call, we actually have a special guest on the line. I get a chance to welcome her. She is out there leading by example. She's a brand new agent, and she's just already hit her mission sponsor 5. She's got it done. She's on her way to rank advancing, and I'm just pumped to welcome on the line Marion Haig. Are you on the line, Marion?
Yeah.
Well, first off, I just want to say welcome and huge congratulations. I'm just going to mute my line right quick, and I'd love you to just take a minute or two and just tell your story. What's your background? Where'd you come from? What's got you fired up about Secret? And what did you do, Marion, to get your 5 agents so fast leading the board, man?
Oh, God. Okay. My name's Marion Haig. I'm from Rocky Mountain House, Alberta. My sponsor is Denise Scherer. Well, I've been with Secret for about 2 years now, but really I only got started about a month ago or so. Why? Well, I guess I just finally realized that Secret is the way to go and that you can actually fulfill your dreams if you work at them. And yeah, it's exciting. I love it. And actually, I would say only listening to you guys is what makes it so exciting, because it's such a great support team that shows you what all can be done, and you guys are so personal and out there and always here when you need something. And I've been in network marketing before, but this is different. It's just better. Yeah. I apologize. This is the first time I do something like this. So how did I do it? Some people will probably say I'm pretty convincing. If I believe in something, I believe in it.
That's wow, Marion. I can say that's amazing. I hope that you guys are taking notes, guys. I have my notepad right here, my pen's handy. I love what you said about belief, and you said that Secret is different. You know, and there's a lot of people on the line right now who they've maybe dabbled in other companies before, and I know a lot of them haven't. This is their first time being in this amazing profession that we call home. And I can tell you, if that's you, then you were in for a treat, because number one, you're spoiled. I'm telling you, man, there's nothing like this here. And Marion, I love what you said about belief, and you caught that belief around you caught that belief by getting around other leaders and plugging into the system. If you had to give 2 tips right now, if you had to give 2 tips as a brand new agent, as someone who's leading the charge, qualifying for Mission Sponsor 5, what would those 2 tips be to the people on the line right now that are maybe 1 or 2 agents away from getting their 5? Because I know everybody's taking all-out massive action right now. What would those 2 tips from you be, Marion?
Well, honestly, number one, don't be shy. You got to get out there. You got to talk to people. You got to tell them about Secret. You got to show your excitement and make them understand why it is so cool. And the other one is listen to these calls. Listen to Josh. Listen to Tracy. They're amazing. Honestly, I got my fire from you guys.
That is absolutely so powerful, Marion. That's something that my mentor told me in the very beginning. He said, Josh, you know, you can teach what you know, you'll duplicate who you are, and belief is the one thing that cannot be taught. It must be caught. That enthusiasm cannot be taught. It must be caught. And the last 4 letters of enthusiasm is IASM. I am sold myself. And it just looks like you just caught fire. You sold out. And that just translates into the people that you're talking to. I love what you said about not being shy. And I can't wait to see you on more of these calls. You got a great presence, a great energy, and you are obviously staking your claim as an upcoming leader in this community. And I'm fired up for you. So I appreciate it, and thank you for being on the line tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, guys, with that said, I get to just dig right into this training, man. I mean, you guys know this man that I'm getting ready to introduce, he needs no introduction. He's been a part of my journey and a part of my story from day one. He is the absolute biggest reason things happened for me the way they did when they did. I can tell you right now, I had a chance to meet this guy. I was 26 years old. I had just turned, I think I might have just turned, no, I just turned 26 back in July, the year, a few months before. I met him in October of 2012, and I had $1.75 to my name. And I remember pacing, I was walking through my neighborhood, and I needed something. I needed some help. I needed a way. I needed a path. And I had never been spoken to the way this man spoke to me. He spoke to me with certainty. He spoke to me with a spirit of intensity and certainty that I had never heard in my life. It was like he almost spoke into my soul, but it wasn't sales pitchy. It wasn't gimmicky. It wasn't twisting my arm to get started. I remember walking through my neighborhood, and something that I said, Josh, I said, do you really believe I can do it? Do you really believe I can do it? And this man had never met me before. You guys know his story. I'm not going to steal his thunder. I watched this guy go from homeless to $1.2 million last year in just his first 4 years with this company. And his second year in, he reached down and took me by the hand from the top of the mountain and helped pull me up to levels of my life and levels of leadership and levels of development and growth and financial prosperity that I never knew I could reach. And he's out there leading the charge more than ever before. And I want you guys to understand right now, I know we toss edification around in this industry like it's, like it's a beanbag, or like we're playing the tetherball on the court, boom, back to you, no, boom, boom, back to you. But I cannot say more, I cannot say enough about this guy, because his genuine heart, his genuine work ethic, his integrity as a leader, and just his love for other people. So I've got my notepad, I'm turning it to another page. Hey, Marion, if you don't mind, could you just hit the mute button on your phone, because you're ringing through and it's a bit distracting.
Okay, how do I do that?
You touch your screen and you'll see a little red microphone. Tap your screen in the center, you'll see a red microphone, and there it is. Perfect. Thank you, Marion. So I got my notepad turned to a brand new fresh page. Here's my notes from earlier. Here's my fresh page. I've got some incredible questions to interview this man. And I want each and every one of you guys to get dialed in, locked in. riled up, fired up, jacked up, ready to rank up, and take notes for this man's knowledge and experience. I want to welcome on the line 7-figure earner, cabinet ambassador, the one leading the field from the front, my good friend, Red Diamond agent Josh Denne. Are you with us, brother?
I'm here, and I wouldn't miss this for the world. As it says right here, I'm a big Tracy Zimmer fan. I'm a Zimmer fan club here. But Josh, you've got to be one of my favorite people on the planet, brother. I'm massive respect for you and for what you and Heather and your family bring to the community here at Secret. It's an honor to work with you, brother. So go ahead, man. I'm willing to share whatever you want to ask, and I'm willing, man. I'm here and willing.
Perfect. Well, Josh, the first thing I wanted to talk about and mainly just kind of give you free reign here for the first 5 minutes or so is, man, there's a lot, the buzz behind this promotion. This Operation 90 to Ignite promotion is on another level. We're having new agents get started right now more than ever before. I mean, literally record-breaking numbers in my personal team and the teams of others that that you're leading, of weekly new agents starting. And so there's a lot of brand new faces on the line tonight, a lot of brand new faces. And I wanted to just give you some time to just share your story. I know it, but I can never hear it enough because I learn something new every time. Excuse me. And I'd love you to just take a few minutes and just share your background, share what got you started in the industry, share a little bit about your journeys, your journey, the ups and the downs, and what ultimately landed you here with Secret, what you saw, and where you feel like we as a community are going to go.
Thank you for that, Josh. It's an interesting story because it's been a long time coming. I think over the last few years. I think like a lot of people, when I grew up, I wanted to be successful. I really didn't know how to do that. I grew up in a lower economic area of town. My mom worked 3 jobs trying to put food on the table for my brother and I. My dad ran away from home when I was 5, never came back. And we're just struggling financially, and I remember that feeling, and I remember wanting to do something about it. And as I grew up, I heard the same thing I think a lot of people hear, whether it's in Canada or Mexico or the United States where I'm living, or Australia, anywhere in the world, that you hear you got to go to school, get good grades, go to college, get a diploma, and then go get a job, work for somebody who knows what they're doing, and trade your time for some money by partnering with that organization, that corporation. And, I think like a lot of people, they found that's not really the way to real success. Now, I'm not saying don't get educated for sure. Education's vital, very, very important. But, my mistake was I really didn't go to school. I kind of gave up on it in high school. I said, this is a bunch of nonsense, and was a kind of a challenging kid of issues. Without going into all that detail, I didn't graduate, and I'm working in these machine shops, cleaning floors. I'm doing construction work. I'm just really thinking to myself, I messed up. What do I do to fix my life? Do I go back to school? What do I do? And I ended up finding myself in an opportunity presentation. I was invited down. I took a look. Made other people talking about entrepreneurism and success and business ownership, and I wanted those things. I didn't know how to get it. And although I was a little hesitant, and I must admit, even skeptical, I still had so much hope and desire in my heart. I figured, why not? If other people are succeeding, I got to find out how they did it, and if they can do it, I can do it too. And for the first time in my life, I really met real mentors, real coaches, people who are willing to say, look, I'll help you out if you have burning desire to succeed, if you're willing to learn, and most importantly, if you're actually willing to work. And I'm going to ask you those same 3 things. Are you willing to do those things? And because that's what it takes. A burning desire in your heart for something better, a willingness to learn something new, and a willingness to work hard once you've got it. And I worked hard. And it didn't come overnight. It took several years. In fact, it was 5 years. Well, I want to say 6 years before I was making a 6-figure income. And for most of that time, I didn't really make any money. Mainly because I didn't follow the system. Mainly because I wanted to do it my way. I thought I knew better. Interesting story is, that one of the guys I was learning from was making like $8 million a year. and at the peak of his career, he's doing like $2 million a week in business, in net revenue. $2 million a week in revenue to him after taxes. Okay, that's a lot of money. And I'll never forget what he said. He said, you think if you already knew how to be a millionaire, you'd be one. He's like, why don't you put your ideas down for a minute, and why don't you listen to mine? Because your ideas got you broke. My ideas have me rich. And although I said it a lot less, a lot kinder than he said it to me, but it resonated in my heart because I remember that so clearly. I thought, dang it, he's right. What I'm doing is not working. Clearly, that's why I'm looking for opportunity. What this guy's doing is working. Let me stop thinking I know what I'm doing and put all my ego and my desire to try to be right on a shelf and just follow the system. Just do what this guy's telling me to do. And when I finally started following this process, and I must admit it was years later, I became successful, became financially independent. Program a day and lost everything. And then here at Secret, obviously things have gone real well for our family and I, again, from following this very, very simple, consistent process that I am confident anyone can do. I have no doubt in my mind, Josh Wyles, that anybody that is consistent, willing to work, willing to learn, will be successful. And ultimately what brought me to Secret, I got to tell you, because my wife and I have done well and we've been blessed to have some great opportunities in our life, there was a lot of I wasn't hurting for opportunity. I guess to put it plainly, there was a lot of opportunity on the table. There was nothing I really felt genuine about until Secret. My wife and I both, we looked at Isaac Ben Shabbat, heard his story, saw their products, and thought, man, this is a winner. This company is going to be the one that's going to go all the way. And so far, it's been extraordinary. I don't think we've even touched the surface of what's about to be. I have no doubt that this will not only be a multi-billion-dollar company, but I genuinely believe in my heart it'll be the largest company within the direct sales space. I think anywhere. Just if the whole world's moving in this direction, I believe there won't be a person on this planet at some point that hasn't heard about Secret, that won't hear about Secret, that won't want to either have been involved with Secret or doing real well with Secret in the next probably 10, 15 years. So if you're listening to this right now, you have the opportunity to be one of the forerunners. You have the opportunity today to be one of the pioneers to help lay the foundation of this company, not just in Canada, not just in the United States or Mexico, but all over the world. And your children, your grandchildren, or your grandchildren's children are going to be able to reap the benefit from the tremendous financial windfall that's going to come upon those that are consistent, those that see the future that this company is building, position themselves, and act accordingly. So anyway, I know that was a mouthful, Josh, but that's kind of my story and where we're at today.
No, I absolutely love it, man. And I'm sitting here taking notes. I love a couple of things that you said, man. You talked about being skeptical in the beginning, and that's where I was. When you're raised to have a low money blueprint, when you have a low money blueprint, it's really hard to see past what your own experiences are. I remember coming from when we first met. I was broke, busted, and disgusted. I was a police officer and not making any money. And I remember you were just talking about, man, you saw so much more into me, and I could be this $20,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month earner. And I just, there was a little bit of skepticism there, but I just borrowed on your belief. It goes back to what Marion said earlier, is if you believe, just pour that into others. And I borrowed on your belief, and I went out there and you helped us crush it. And because of that, we have this incredible team that's tuning in tonight with Tracy Zimmer and her amazing leadership. And I just appreciate you, bro. That's such a great story. And I've been promoting this call for a week or so now with you being on, and I want you to you're the one who taught me the power of stories. And you taught me in the beginning, you said, Josh, there is no script. I remember one of the biggest things I was asking you was, what do I say to people? Josh, what do I say to people? I didn't know anything about skincare. I was timid. And you just always told me, just be honest, transparent, tell your story. Relate to people with your story. And, we did so many three-way calls in the beginning. We're back to doing three-way calls again now since you're back from Japan launching that market. Thank you for your service for our community, by the way. And It never ceases. You never cease to, in the inviting process, tell your story. If you could maybe just sum that up for everybody right quick on the importance of when on the invite, when I'm after I've teed them up by the text and they've seen the videos and I'm calling them up to either invite them to come take an honest look or invite them to the wow party or invite them to get on a three-way call with my expert. How important is it to not talk about the ingredients, not talk about the Dead Sea, not really talk about the comp plan or anything like that, but just be genuine and tell the story of where you came from, why you're here, and where you want to go. Can you just talk about that and how it relates to inviting?
Absolutely, Josh, and that's a great question. And to precurse that answer, let me share with you this. There's three important stories, okay, three important, I guess, story categories, if you will, that are vitally important to your business. First, obviously, is your story, okay? You want to create your story, and you want to create your story as fast as possible. Now, how do you do that? You do that with two other stories, okay? The first story you're going to use is your support team story, or your upline, or your sponsor, the support team that is working with you. You know, for those of you that are here, you got great support team. Tracy Zimmer's got a great story, okay? Josh Wyles, phenomenal story. You got great stories in your support team. There's others as well, okay? So in the beginning, when you don't have a story just yet, you want to lean on other people's stories. So you're going to use your support team stories, okay? You're going to keep using that until you have your own story, which is your own, you got your own check. You got something going on. You can relate. But regardless whether you have made any money with Secret or not, you do have a story. Let me kind of retrace my words because I said you don't, but you do. It's just not a very good story just yet, okay? The story is you are where you are and you know where you want to go, and that's why you're partnering with Secret. That's a story, that's good, but you want to get to the point where it's amazing, which is you have a result with Secret. Now, again, you're going to learn your upline support story. Once you've got that down and you're telling your story, the next category of stories will be the team story. The people that have got involved because of you, because you introduced them, because, you know what, you had the courage to show up at that event and invite people. And to tell that story one more time until someone said, okay, I get it. I see what you're doing. I like that. They became started, they got started, and they became successful. Now you have people stories. All of these stories, and to answer your question, Josh, specifically, is they're all important to get what's called Me Too. What do I mean by that? A Me Too feeling within the individual that you're sharing this with. Think of an infomercial. Okay, I'll give you an example. I was at my house, right? I'm overweight and it drives me crazy. Okay, it just drives me crazy. I'm like 28% body fat. I've never been. I'm at health and fitness my whole life. Okay, I just love it. The last 5-6 years, I have just given up. Okay, and I'm at a point of disgust. Right, I'm going. I just can't do this anymore. You probably know what I'm talking about. Maybe some of you've been there. And here I am on the couch. And it's the middle of the night. You know, I kind of calm down. I watch shows, right? And I happen to be watching some show, and infomercial came on. It was P90X, right? Interestingly enough, and they're going through this thing. They're showing these pictures, these before and after pictures, and you know, I saw the story, and the guy's telling everything, and all the fact. You know, it does this and it does that, blah blah blah. But what captivated me was the stories. You know, and there was some really big-sized people that had lost a lot of weight, and you know, they didn't. I'm like, that's amazing. But it was people like me that, you know, they weren't like, you know, crazy. It was just enough, and I saw the way their body looked, and I'm like, man, I want to be like that. You know, and they told their story, and I'm like, me too. I can do that. I got all fired up, and I picked up the phone, and I called them, and I bought it. Now, you know what's crazy? I happen to know a guy who was a senior consultant for that company, and could have got me that stuff for free. But it didn't matter. I was so fired up, my brain left me, and I made an emotional decision right then because of the story. Now, before you laugh at me too much, how many times in your life have you seen a story or heard a story, or, you know, someone talked about a restaurant, they gave a good story, and you went and bought it? They told a story about a movie, and you went and saw it, right? They told a story about a particular service, and you went and tried it. All of us. And it's the stories that compel us. That's what makes us want to go do it. That's what drives our behavior. are the stories. I heard this a long time ago. It said, be a master storyteller, and you'll become a legend in this business. I'm going to repeat that again. Become a master storyteller, and you'll become a legend in the business. And this is true. Learn to tell stories. And even while I'm illustrating the fact that I want you to tell stories, I've been telling stories this whole time, haven't I? Okay, that's you drive your point with stories. Okay, so in the storytelling process, when you're talking to people, they want social proof. That's why you tell the stories. You tell as many stories as you can. That's why also you get out of the way and introduce them to other people. You told the story too. And again, Josh, you said, why do I always share my story when I meet somebody? Because it's my story that's relatable. They don't care about the rest of the stuff. No one cares what car you drive or what house you live in or how much money's in your bank account. That stuff really doesn't matter. What matters is your story. What matters is where are you from? You know, who are you? And what happened to you? Okay, I can relate with that. And all of us don't relate with every one of us. But guess what? All of us together can relate with everyone. You have to understand what I just said. You and I can't relate with everyone. But all of us together can relate with everyone. Meaning that you got the single mom, the single dad. You know, the single parent out there. You got the grandparent. You got the college student. You got the school teacher, you got the police officer, you got the accountant, the engineer, the dropout, right? You got all walks of life, and someone somewhere is going to relate with the stories. That's why you use stories. Anyway, I could keep going on this topic all night, Josh, but
bro, I love it, man. I mean, it makes so much sense. It absolutely makes so much sense, and that's like you said, that's what relates when you're getting on the phone with people to really draw them in, to really connect the dots. You taught me this in the beginning. You got to paint them into the vision, and you paint them into the vision with the stories.
Exactly.
And we'll just go ahead and move on. I hope you guys are taking notes the way I am. I'm hoping to give somebody carpal tunnel tonight with all this great information. You guys better have your barbecue sauce handy because Josh Denne is dropping nuggets tonight. Man, I'm getting excited. Number two. Here's a second question, bro. You know, there's you taught me this. There's kind of two phases to this business. There's the casting your net wide, the mass recruiting, the casting your net wide, the activity, working my list. And then when I get through my top 100, my top 200 lists, and I get my team, I've gathered my troops. This is where kind of the breakdown is for a lot of people, Josh, and I didn't understand this in the beginning, and you are a master at it, and you taught me how to do it. It's become one of my strengths. The art of duplication by taprooting, the art of duplication by digging in through a network. And most people are like, how do I get my team to duplicate? How do I get my team to duplicate? I got to go buy this training. I got to go buy this training and buy this and buy that. No, you get your team to duplicate. It's all duplication by example. Your team will duplicate what you do. And so you taught me in the beginning, you know, once I get somebody new started, that's just the beginning. It's no longer about them. Go find who they know. Can you elaborate on that? And just because I know we've got so many brand new people that have gotten started, their sponsors are on tonight. The new people have their brand new people on tonight, and now we've also got some leaders that are on that, you know, that maybe this is something that they haven't had a chance to really wrap their brains around, the art of duplication and the importance of duplicating by example and just working your people's people and duplicating through the taproot process. Can you elaborate on that and you know, the philosophy behind it and really how you go about doing it? Because I know that's what really breeds the long-term duplication.
You know, Josh, that's like the quintessential question in the business. Meaning the all-important question. You know, the most essential part of building a massive network is understanding what we really do here. And let me preface what I'm about to say by saying what I've discovered in my career is most people, not all people, but most people, when they sign up into this business of secret, they're really hoping and praying that they find two people, one on the right team and one on the left team, that just go do it. Right? That's what they're praying for. They're just like, please, God, send me two people. Send me two. That's all I want is two. One on the right, one on the left, just send me two. That they go do what I am not willing to do because I don't want to go do the work because it's hard. I'm just kind of hoping and praying. Please, I'm going to cross my fingers, I'm going to cross my toes, I'm going to cross my feet, I'm going to cross my eyes and hope that somebody's going to figure this out and go do it. And if you are playing the game like that, you're building your business that way, just understand it's going to be a long, long road for you. And chances are you probably aren't going to make it. Okay? The sad part about network marketing, and this business model is that there are people who get lucky. It blows my mind. But there's a lot of them too. It's not like, your odds of getting rich in network marketing are 1,000 times the lottery or Las Vegas, for sure. Because you can get lucky. You really can. But look, if you're waiting to get lucky, you may be sadly disappointed for a long time. Okay? Here's what you do. You decide today that you're going to make it happen. Write this philosophy on your heart, that if it's to be, it's up to me. And what does that look like? That means I'm going to actually do the work, which is networking. Okay, so let me bring it back to the taproot. What does that actually mean? Digging through networks. What does that mean? What that means is our job, and our only job, is to get the information in front of people consistently. That's our job. That's what we do. We share the vision of the company enthusiastically, with excitement, with confidence. We're going all the way to the top. We're going to make it happen no matter what, with or without them. We demonstrate the product. Isn't this amazing? You show the stuff excitement. It's because it's real and it really does work. Okay? You tell stories. Tell the success stories about what's happening. What's going on, who's winning, all that stuff. And you try to bridge them on the phone with people. Okay? You promote an event, whether it be a wow party or a regional or a webinar like this. Whatever the case, you promote something. Okay? And then you ask for referrals. Bingo, that's the deal. That aspect is what's overlooked predominantly in our profession. Where a lot of times we do is we get someone started, we pray to God, they just go do it. They tell us they're going to do it, they get fired up, and we kind of go, oh, I got one. Kind of like we're fishing. You're fishing, I got one, you're all excited, you pull it on the board, you knock it out, you throw it in the bag, you're like, all right, where's all your buddies, bring more friends. Well, you just knocked the dang thing out. It's not going to happen like that, okay? You didn't just hunt somebody down. You opened someone up. You helped them open a business. Now it's your job, my job, to get into their network. Who do you know? Who's your best friend? Again, whether they got started or they didn't get started. Either way, who do you know? Okay, so our job, my friends, is to network through people. Meaning that if you bring me into the business, okay, or you introduce me to the business, and I have some interest, your goal isn't to give me my kit and send me out there and tell me to go do it and show up on the conference call or do my blueprint and say, all right, you got your blueprint, now go get him, Tiger. No, go find out who I know. And Josh Wyles, by the way, is a master of this. Of all the people I've worked with in my 20-year career now, Josh by far is one of the very best, one of the absolute very best. He understands it, and how I know that is, number one, his team's growing. Number two, he always has a new story of a new person. He's not telling me the same story, the same person over and over again. Here's how I know someone's not working through lists. They have the same story of the same human being they've been trying to talk to for the last 4 or 5 weeks. Then soon it turns into 4 or 5 months. They're saying the same name over and over. And I know, man, you're just not working. Again, guys, our job is to get the information in front of people by layering through networks. Okay? That's it.
Layering through networks. That's the key, bro. I absolutely love it. And you said it best, man. I love what you said, because there's really 5 principles of recruiting, and this, the first one's obviously warm market recruiting, and the second one is probably the most underutilized, but it's number 2 on the list, and that's warm market referrals. Who do you know? Who do you know? And especially in a compensation plan that is so fair and so vital to timing, like our true binary that we have, if I talk to Willie, and Willie maybe is on the fence, not ready to get started, but he can give me a warm market referral and we can go see John together, John might be ready to get started, and I guarantee if John's ready, then Willie's in too. And you taught me that right out of the gate, and I appreciate it. Just spot on, incredible information. I hope everybody on the line's taking notes. The third question, we're gonna wrap. We're on the home stretch. I have 2 more quick things to talk about. Here's the thing. In secret, it's very simple what we do, brother. And you taught me this. We talk to people, we make friends, we share the products and opportunity. We ask for the referral, we promote something, and we rinse and repeat. But I also know that there's kind of the double side of the coin. There's this part about mindset. There's this part about growing. There's a part about sharpening your mind and the way you think. And and if you can sharpen the way you think, that's going to change the way you deal with people and the way you work with other people. And you taught me this, man. You taught me like the scales of justice, the Libra scale, bro. And it made such a big difference in my life. And you know, when it comes to the secret opportunity, we've got some of the best speakers, some of the best leaders, some of the best personal development in the business. And I just want you to touch on the importance of personal development, on the importance of personal growth. It's simple. It's simple to do. You know, even on the daily method of operations, it's just 15 minutes a day. But it's also simple not to do. Like Jim Rohn says, what's simple to do, simple not to do. You know, brother, just kind of touch on your favorites and what the importance of intentionally keeping our mind sharp and intentionally protecting our brains from the naysayers and the toxic dream stealers so that we can really go out there with the fervor and commitment to take this thing to the top of the mountain and achieve our dreams and goals.
I appreciate that, Josh. Listen, and you of all people know that importance, I think, best, and you've grown considerably. You know, the last few years, it's amazing to watch, but I know it's not something that just happens by accident. It's something that you purposely do, and I can tell you that personal growth is more important than, you know, going out there and trying to make your business perfect. There's a law, a universal law, which is called the law of attraction. You've probably heard about this. It was glorified with a movie not too long ago called The Secret. You know, I think there's more to it, but it's a very real law. It's, you know, you get what you are, not what you want. You know, if you want to get more, you got to become more. You've heard these philosophies, but the question is always, well, how do I become more? You study. You study, you practice, you teach. You study, you practice, you teach. And it's a constant, consistent effort. The statistics are crazy. I read a paper not too long ago that said the average person doesn't pick up another book once they leave college. The average person. It wasn't that they don't pick up a book, they don't finish a book. That they don't finish a book. They buy the book, it goes on their shelf, and it looks pretty in their library or on their coffee table, but they don't really read it. The average person, once they finish school, whether it's high school or college. And I find that fascinating. Like the learning cycle stops in North America once we've finished our education and we've gone on to our vocation or whatever it is that we're doing for business or work. In this program, it's vital. You know, it was Ben Franklin, and I know there's other people been quoted with this, but you know, I wrote Ben Franklin's autobiography, and in there he talked about the fact that his philosophy of how to become better was that he used this analogy of chopping down trees. He said, if I were going to go chop a tree down, I only had 4 hours to do that. I would spend 3 of those hours sharpening my axe. I would sharpen my axe, meaning that I'd spend 3/4 of the time working on me, and then 1/4 of the time working on it. You know, working on the tree, working on chopping. Okay, 3/4 of the time on me, 1/4 of the time on what I'm doing. And you know, I don't necessarily say that's the right way in your business, but you should be spending a huge amount of time working on your mind. And the best way to do that, again, read 10 pages of a good book every day. You know, Richest Man in Babylon, George S. Clason, you know, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, and he has Cash Flow Quadrant, and Why We Want You to Be Rich, and you know, the Conspiracy of the Rich. And he's got all these great books. Read that stuff. Educate yourself. Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Tim LaHaye has a book called Why We Do the Things We Do. There's so much. I mean, I could go on and on and on. There's so much quality content to help you build your mind to become more, so you can attract into your life leaders that will say, I don't know what it is about you, but I like you. You know, I'm sure, Josh, you get that all the time. People go, yeah, I don't know, it's something about you, man. And it's because you're working on you. You're attractive. I mean, you're obviously a good-looking guy, but it's more than that. It's your energy. It's your output. Like you are a student, and it shows in your eyes. It shows in your voice inflection. You can hear it, you know, and people are gravitating towards that. And I'm talking people of all walks of life. So you want to be successful. You want to have great things. Work on you. And the good news is anybody can do that. You know, online today, you can pretty much get almost anything for free. Amazon, you get books for basically pennies on the dollar. Anyway, it's vital if you want to succeed.
I love it. I love it. You know, and it basically in a nutshell, it's, you know, we're all kind of taught do, have, be. What we do gets us what we have, and what we have makes us who we are, and that's not true. That whole thought process of society is backwards. It really is be, do, have. It's who you are will drive the results of what you do, and that gets you what you're going to have, but it all starts with who you are as a person. It all starts with who you are. And Josh, those are some great books. I remember the first time I read the Dale Carnegie How to Win Friends and Influence People. It was a culture shock to me, because when I was a police officer, I was not winning friends and influencing people. I was slamming them and putting them into jail. And it took me from being negative and cynical, and it taught me how to go make friends again. And that's something that I had lost somewhere along the way. So, man, just great information. I'm going to ask one last question, and I know this is something that you're very passionate about. You know, Josh, we build this business systematically. You know, how did McDonald's become the largest hamburger seller in the world? Not because they got the best burgers, but because they opened 17,000 McDonald's. You can go to any country in the world, and there's a McDonald's every few blocks. And that's exactly what we're doing in secret. We're trying to amass the largest skincare distribution network in the world, the largest wealthy community of distributors that are just distributing the highest quality products out there. And we know to do that, we really have to have a systematic approach. We have the best system. It's non-debatable. It's non-negotiable, non-debatable. I think there's 4 forms of scientific documentation that actually proves it in the court system right now. I think that the United States Supreme Court is actually getting ready to pass a magisterial law that this secret system is the best system out there. I just want your feedback, bro, on events. I want to know Josh Denne's personal philosophy on events. We have the biggest event in our company's history coming up. In our community's history, we have the biggest event. Everybody's going to be on fire. We got John Maxwell as the guest speaker, September 17th to the 20th, 2015, at our Ignite event. Josh, how important is it to be there, number one? And number two, why?
You know, that's, again, all these questions have been phenomenal, but I got to say, if it wasn't for an event, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be in this profession at all. And, you know, I can say that about every very successful person I know in this business. They wouldn't be here. They wouldn't have been able to catch the vision. And there's something in this business called, if you can think about like a graph like this, right? You get the bottom line here, and this line would represent high technology, and then this vertical line represent high touch. And the object obviously is to get as high touch as possible, high tech and high touch together. And the event system of the highest touch, I want to say, can't think of the word right now, but process or part of the system where people feel good. It's like you know, think about it. Have you ever been in a situation where you've been moved, like you watched a movie, right, and it just moved you? I mean, it grabbed you. I can't think, like, I don't know why this pops in my head, but like The Notebook, right? And I know that's kind of maybe sappy for some of you, but man, that movie's good. I don't care how macho you are. That's a dang good movie, right? I mean, and it grabs you, especially at the end, you know, when you realize he's been there for his wife the whole time with the dementia thing. It's like, oh my God, this is the best. Like, it gets you. You know, it's one of those things, right? That the event captures, where it moves you in such a way. We are emotional beings. You know, we think that we buy things on logic, but we don't. We buy on emotion, and we justify it later with logic. We are emotional beings. We make decisions based on emotion. And what I've learned in this business is, in order to move people, you got to get them emotional. You got to get them in there. How do you do it? You can't do it on a phone call. You can't do it on a webinar like this. You can't do it with fact. Again, stories drive emotion. But when someone's there and they're immersed for a couple days and they're around it, and they feel the energy, and they're hearing it everywhere. It's like, how do you learn a language? What's the best way to learn a language? You get immersed. I tell you what, my wife and I were in Japan 5 weeks. And towards the end, my kids are even saying thank you in Japanese. Arigato gozaimasu. You know, they were starting to pick it up. And my wife and I, when we left Japan, literally we're still talking in Japanese, and we're like, we're in America now. We got to stop, you know, because we were immersed for 5 weeks. You start to get the culture. You start to feel it. You start to become a part of it. You want someone to speak the language of secret. You want them to feel a part of the culture of secret. You got to get them immersed. And it's not just for you. Yes, you need it. Yes, without any question. If you're not there, it doesn't matter. You're the most important person in your group. So it's got to be non-debatable, no matter what. Because that's just part of the system. Look, I have not met the millionaire, six-figure earner that doesn't go to the conferences. I haven't met that person. Okay? They don't exist. Okay? They show up because they understand the importance of it. They understand that's where the energy is. That's where it's all at. Not only do they show up, but they do everything within their power to help every human being around them show up too. Why? So they can see it the way they see it. They can feel the way they feel. They can get that emotional high. And when they're there, when they go do the thing, they go do the effort, their axe is sharp because they've worked on them. They spent that time. It's a way to accelerate. It's a way to shorten the ability to get to success much faster. It's a fact, okay? It is a fact. If you want to achieve financial independence, if you want to achieve your goals, your dreams, the aspirations you've set for your life, and you're not going to the conference, please, you know, reconsider your decision. Because either a couple things have got to change. Either A, you got to lower your expectations on your business, okay, and just decide you're just going to get customers here and there, or you've got to make the decision to go to the conference. Because if you truly want financial independence, you truly want to become successful the way you say you do, you know, provide that your family with the life they deserve, then it's non-negotiable. And I know I hear the excuses. Well, I can't go there. You know, I live in Maine, or I live in Quebec. You know, I live on the other side of the world. You know, I can't show up. Okay, well, if you say that, then you've just told your brain a stop command. You just said, look, I can't do it. And so automatically you're going to stop looking for any solutions because you've already decided it's not going to happen for you. Don't decide that. This is not for you to decide. Okay? Say, how can I do it? How can I do it? I know I got to be there, and I'm going to be there. I don't know just how just yet because of whatever situation you may be facing, but you make a decision. A brave man, a brave woman draws a line in the sand and says, today's the day I change my life. Today's the day I stop allowing external excuses to dictate my future. Today's the day I decide that if it's to be, it's up to me. And I'm going to be at that conference. Come hell, come high water, rain, sleet, snowstorm, flood, it don't matter, I'm going. I'm going. And if you have that attitude, and you have that dogged determination, then I promise you, you'll find yourself in a place of life that people just write books about. You know, our lifestyle today, my wife and I, it's at one point it was a fantasy to me. Today it's normal. I could not live this way. But I remember a point in my life when it was just a fantasy. It was a pipe dream. You know, to be able to do what you want when you want. To not worry about the price tag. Buy all the quality foods you want for your family. All organic stuff. I don't buy the nonsense. I don't buy the trash foods, the GMOs. That stuff's garbage, guys. That's not real food. I hope you know it. Okay? I'm sure you do. I don't buy that garbage for my family. And I'm telling you, that stuff's expensive. Like $6 a half gallon of milk, okay? You know, $7 a dozen eggs. Not cheap, okay? It's not cheap to live quality, okay? But you can do it if you decide. And again, what that looks like is registering for the conference now if you're not registered. Just register. Don't worry about anything else, okay? If you haven't booked your plane ticket, you book that plane ticket now. It's cheaper now than it will be then. Make that decision. You want your team to show? Yes. Here's the good idea. You have your plane ticket. You have your hotel room booked. You have your ticket. Oh, I'm going. I'm going. I just want to see if you're coming with me. That inspires confidence. Not the leader that says, well, I'll go if you go. That's not very inspiring. Okay? Be the leader like Josh Wyles. Be the leader like Tracy Zimmer. That's non-negotiable. They're going no matter what. And they're going to find the people, the men, the women that are going to shoulder this responsibility with them and that are going to pave this foundation and build this company and lead this to where it needs to be. And, of course, they'll be able to reap the tremendous financial rewards for those that have the courage and the tenacity to make it happen.
Wow. I tell you what, Josh, Thank you, my brother, for your time. I tell you this, I'm excited to go to the back office and not only hit refresh a few times and to see how many new names in the next few days pop up on that Mission Sponsor 5 qualifier with this, with this vital information. Pages and pages of notes that I have here. I even started a third page. I'm excited to hit refresh and see how many new agents we have qualifying for Mission Sponsor 5, how many new agents pop up on the Mission 20 leaderboard. But not only that, to see how many new event registrations we have for the biggest event of our lives, of our careers up to date, the Ignite Conference. My brother, thank you so much. I'm just going to, ask for any final words before we wrap up tonight.
Josh, the only thing I can say is I have so much respect for you and Tracy Zimmer. You guys are just phenomenal leaders. I don't know how to thank you enough for all the tremendous effort and energy you pour into the community, you pour into the people that you work with. I know you care more about them than you do about yourself, and that's why you're succeeding. I know that you do all the right things. You show up at the events. You're consistent. And, I think it's a great example for all of us that are watching and those that are part of the organization. Those of you that are listening, my last piece of advice would be, look, show up at the conference. I'd love to meet you in person if I haven't yet already. Give you a hug, congratulate you on your decision. And anyway, it's just an honor. I'm going to spend some time with you guys. Much love, and I look forward to seeing you at Ignite.
Well, guys, you heard it. You heard it from the best. The guy who built this thing with his bare hands from day one. I'm excited, Josh. Again, thanks for being on our call tonight. Thanks for sharing your incredible knowledge and your heart and your love. And I know that I can't wait to see you again, and neither can any of the other leaders that are going to make the decision to be at Ignite. And guys, this wraps up our team call tonight, August 4th, 2015. We will see you again in a week from now. Next week is going to be game over. I'm so pumped about next week's training, next week's Team Zimmer vision call. This is just going to be, these calls are just going to continue to get better and better and better and better. Please look for the recording within the next 24 hours posted in the Facebook group. And very last but not least, the winner of our team contest, where we pinned the last week's training, the Zimmer and myself, we did the little interview on contacting and inviting, on how to prospect, and on how to really tee up for three-way calls. Just such a tremendous response, man. 66 people that I last counted commented participating in the contest just in the last 7 days. And I said that we were going to pick a random winner that was going to get a $100 bill, your choice, United States or Canadian, presented to you at the Ignite Conference. And that's none other than Chelsea Lytle. Chelsea Lytle, I believe, out of Saskatoon. Congratulations, girlie. You won. Thank you guys for participating, and watch the Facebook group for this week's contest. I'm excited. Thank you guys so much, and have a great night.